And welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host, Rob, a.k.a. B-Ball Archives, and once again, we're back together, but this time it's in the flesh.
In the flesh. Feels good, buddy.
It's good to see you.
Feels good.
Absolutely. And it feels really good because we're here talking some Spurs OKC Thunder, and this is a matchup that...
Look at us! We're in conference finals!
We're in the Western Conference Finals, and it's absolutely electric to talk about the Spurs in this way. And like I said earlier on previous episodes, we did not think we'd be here, but here we are.
Good God, what a performance! Wemby is all world, man. He's just good God. Like, we're so lucky to have him, and if we're gonna dive into it, but if anything happens, it's gonna be because of Wemby, and everything starts and ends with him. And once again, he is the best player in this series.
Absolutely, hands down. I mean, there's a lot of who's MVP, who's the best player in the world conversation, and I don't want to disrespect Shea and what he's done this season. Well, you know what? Then we can have that conversation as well. But I just think the two-way impact of Wembanyama cannot be denied, and so much of that was brought to the forefront when you look at the regular season. When we played each other 5 times, Spurs won 4 of those games, and we really dominated a lot of things like the rebounding battle and things that were essential to winning this game, and I don't see why we don't do that now.
Well, the thing is, like, you got to think about a couple things. First thing is, I don't think the Thunder have been really tested this playoff. They haven't really seen any adversity. They haven't really gone through a whole lot. You sweep the first 2 rounds, and the Suns and the Lakers, like a Luka-less Lakers, a Suns team that's on the decline. They haven't really done much. Watching, like we talked about in one of our previous podcasts, watching Game 4, it's a closeout game, and no one's playing with any intensity at all. Like, if you would have turned it on, you'd been like, oh, it's cool, it's a regular season game, right? Yeah. And there's nothing to it. Then you turn on the Spurs and Timberwolves, and you're like, good God, this is like so... Even with the Knicks closing out the Sixers, like, that was really... Even though it was a blowout, they were still just really going at it. And I look at this Thunder team, and if there's any team in the NBA that is built to beat this Thunder team, it's the Spurs.
Yeah.
It's hands down the Spurs. And I'm curious to see who they're going to put on Wemby. Is it going to be... I mean, also, is Jalen Williams going to be around?
Right.
Is Lou Dort going to play a little bit of him? Or are they going to put Chet on him? Because if they put Chet on him, he might average 40. He hates Chet so much. He hates Chet so much.
Oh my gosh. The Wemby Chet hatred is something that I just can't wait. I can't wait to see it, because if he's elbowing Naz Reid in the head because of in-game frustration, imagine what he's about to do to Chet. Like, he may just completely disfigure Chet's face altogether. So, like, I really don't know if that'll be the matchup, or if they'll put someone slightly smaller on him, like a J-Dub, or even someone in between, like a Hartenstein, who's bigger, stronger, 6'10". So, like, they do have multiple guys, but none of them are great answers.
Right.
It's all just like a who can potentially stop Wemby a little bit. And I don't think it's a recipe to really frustrate Wemby that much.
I mean, maybe in AJ Mitchell at times. Like, I mean, maybe. But I just look at that Thunder team, and we match up just very well with them. And it's all about matchups when it comes to playoffs. Like, we have Wemby as your anchor. You're able to throw 3 guards at Shea if you need to. If everyone just continues to contribute, like, we're essentially built almost the same way as the Thunder, but I think our talent's better than the Thunder's, personally. Just from just what we've had recently, and we're just a year or 2 younger. Obviously, they do have the experience over us, but in this playoffs, that's what everyone said. Yeah. And it hasn't really been a thing yet. Have we had our issues, and are we immature at times? 1,000%. I don't see that happening in this series.
Right. I think it comes down to roster construction and how how we match up just supersedes the lack of experience. And yeah, that's what everyone is pointing to, is just they're still talking about it. They're still saying the Spurs don't have the experience. And I'm sitting over here saying, when you have a team that has this much talent, that just doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
And you know, maybe we're sounding like super huge Spurs fans right now, but
absolutely,
at the end of the day, it doesn't. It just doesn't really matter when you have this team.
You mean I'm a Spurs fan? What are we talking about? wait, this is a Spurs podcast?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is.
But I think the big equalizer is just we have Wemby and you don't. And that's something we've talked about since the time we started this podcast. Well, not started it, but shortly afterwards when we got Wemby, is a lot of times we're just going to have Wemby and you don't. And I think that's what we're going to look at the most, especially in this series and anything moving forward. We just have him, and you guys don't have an answer for him. If he's putting up 16 points in 6 minutes against Rudy Gobert in a huge game that he's coming back from after an ejection, like, I just look at that moment and go, good God, like, you can't stop that unless he's off the floor.
No. When he's doing that to 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, there's no threshold for stopping him. You're just trying to discomfort him a little bit. And, speaking of, discomfort, I would, one of the things that we're going to have to do is make SGA feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I think one of the things we can do is, he's been about 32% from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
So far, I would like to sag off on him a little bit, not necessarily play drop coverage, but encourage him to shoot some threes, because, getting getting to the basket, the free throws, mid-range opportunities, that's his bread and butter, and I just want to keep him uncomfortable and make him second-guess getting into the lane even more. With Victor, that's obviously not a problem, but I think a lot of our other guards, they're going to be tested.
Well, I think it's the same kind of concept of what you would do if you were playing against Stephon Castle. You want him, like, he's probably around the same three-point shooter, but he can get to the basket, he can get to the mid-range, he's going to get to the free throw line. So, like, I would say, obviously, Shea's a MVP, Finals MVP, he's a championship, so his talent's there. But I think the similarities with his game and Steph Castle's game is something that you can kind of combat. And the way that we played Anthony Edwards in this previous series, I think it's not a recipe for success, because the Thunder are a much better team for sure. But if we decide to make SGA just the primary person and we give him half the court and he has, his game where he scores 30, 40 points, whatever, but no one else crosses 15, I'm not opposed to that kind of method either. I don't think it's going to happen because they're just way too good and they can make threes. But if that becomes a potential, like, maybe for the next 6 minutes, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was a lot of, like, I mean, I don't want to use the Lakers as an example.
Yeah.
But there was one game, I think it was game 1 in that series, where they forced SGA to have 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
And I think, it was 18 points. It was like one of the only games in the season where he had under 20. It's a fairly inefficient game, high turnover rate, and I went back and I watched it, and they essentially just, kind of ran a second defender at him early on in the possession and forced him to make some quick decisions. And it really wasn't even like a full double team. It was just like quick show, and then he made just a couple of wrong passes. And I think that's something with our young athletic guards, we can easily do that.
That's what we did in the last series.
Oh, yeah. Show Vassell, show Champagny, show Harper when he's in the game. Boom. Those are going to be a couple easy turnovers here and there.
Yeah, I think and once again, we're going to see rest versus rust. So, the Thunder have been off for a long time. We just got done playing. So, we're in this cool rhythm and we're in this really nice little pocket. But, I think we're going to see also how this whole series is going to get called after game 1. Are they going to allow SGA to do this and get his fouls and all that? Like, are they gonna call the fouls against on Wemby? Are they gonna let them bang a little bit? Like, those are the things that you kind of just need to watch out for. And if we're going to get into a situation where Wemby gets frustrated or whatever, then that gets a little dicey. But also, I think it's going to be a good baseline that we can adjust to, essentially. And one thing that even if we get beat game one, the way that we're able to adjust, like from game to game, and Mitch Johnson and Sean Sweeney and everyone else just buying in, it's really fun to watch just the adjustments happening from game to game, and also with the adjustments happen during the game too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see this chess match, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the Thunder fans.
No,
they're
not at all. And I love that you brought up like the chess match sort of back and forth element to it, because so many times you can't point to the regular season and say like that. Like you really can't point to it, but we played 3 times in 12 days.
Right.
That is very close to a playoff environment.
And in important games.
Right.
Elimination game for the cup.
Yes.
So
absolutely. Elevated circumstance games. And I think when you see somebody that close, you can kind of remember how they played, game plan against them in a similar way that you would in a playoff atmosphere. So I think it's one of the rare instances where I can look back on that regular season experience and how we beat them as legitimate reason to think we can do it again.
But we didn't have one of our players, and it's like, well, you had your top 2.
That's how the regular season. That's how basketball works. It's like, we've missed Wemby multiple playoff games. We've had people banged up, whether it's Luke Cornett playing minimal minutes or Harper dealing with hand stuff.
Yeah.
It's like we've got a lot of people banged up as well.
I mean, it's also like there's 4 teams left.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have no one's gonna be 100% healthy. It is what it is, but I think it's gonna come down to just Wemby.
Yeah.
If Wemby plays the way that we know he can play, if we can get some really good production out of Fox, this is a series I'm looking more for Fox on the defensive end more than anything, and also like kind of carrying us in spurts. I don't think he's gonna have like 25-point, 30-point games. He might because he can.
Yeah.
But I think just a good, solid, efficient night for Fox where he has 5 assists, a couple rebounds, and he has like 15 to 20 points is really what I'm going to be looking for. And then I'm thinking everyone else is going to file in from there. I just need Champagne to hit some threes, and we'll be cooking. I don't. It's weird, right? Because the Thunder are the best team. They have the best record, all this stuff. But I think our guys get more hyped to play them than anyone else because they know that they're the big dogs. And if we want to be the big dogs, we got to beat the big dogs.
Oh, yeah. I think we take offense to the fact that they feel like they're a slightly different,
right?
Like in a different level than us. And
yeah.
I love that we feel chippy about that because, we need that chip on our shoulder now more so than ever. And, I love that you mentioned, De'Aaron Fox. I think this is a big series for him.
Yeah.
I think, some of our other guards, whether it's Castle and Harper, Vassell, you really can't bully them because they're bigger and stronger. De'Aaron Fox is, I feel like somebody that SGA, AJ Mitchell, J-Dub, I feel like they can potentially bully him at times. So I agree with you. How he steps up defensively is going to be huge this series because they're going to hunt mismatches a lot.
That's all they do.
And
literally, that's all they do.
And it's crazy how effective they are at doing that, scoring in transition. And, I think we should also be focusing on limiting silly turnovers. That's priority number one.
That's number one. If we're going the other way and we're on a fast break, we cannot turn over the ball because those are way too easy points for us. And we one thing that comes out in the playoffs is your biggest weakness.
Yeah.
And so that's been our Achilles heel for the longest time. We get a turnover, we're going the other way, and it's like someone passes it, it's too far, or fumble it, or whatever the case may be, or just not see the other person cutting across and it gets intercepted. So that's something we're going to be looking for sure. But at the end of the day, just the thing that I'm just most excited for is for the NBA to finally get a series that they can really hang their hat on.
Yeah.
And this has been the collision course all year. We basically, I wouldn't say we derailed their season, but they were 24-0 before they played us.
Yeah.
And then they lost 3 games in a week, and everyone was like, well, maybe they are human after all. And so then it's like, well, both these teams are just coming head to head, so it's going to be fun, man. It's going to get your popcorn. It's going to be great. I like our chances though.
I agree, and I love that you brought up the point that this is going to be the first series in a while that feels like real like cinema,
right?
Where it's like, yeah, like each game feels like an episode of a series that you just can't wait for the next one, and to me, it should be very, very satisfying, and I do feel like we are the more battle tested team. To your point earlier, I feel like they've really skated and essentially floated by through these playoffs so far. So I really want to look at what we've done as not only it hasn't been tiring, but it's also been it's sort of an affirmation process as well, just to kind of prove that we deserve to be here and we've got the scars to prove it.
Yeah, and one thing that they're going to show is, like, once again, they're going to show Chet and Wemby. They're going to show Wemby crying on the sideline, getting the silver medal, and he's going to, you know that is something he wakes up to every. I wouldn't be surprised if Wemby wakes up and just like plays that, and he's like every day, just because he has that mindset where he can fixate on something so hard, and then it's just like that's just ingrained in his brain.
Well, that's what the best do, and he is hyper competitive. And, I think he is the player that's going to absolutely break all of the GOAT debates.
Yeah,
and
I think
like,
so. He's on that path.
We've had this conversation many times, and I think this is the first stamp on his way to do it. And, obviously, Western Conference Finals is, the farthest he's ever been and the farthest we've been in a really long time.
A lot of these guys, like, I mean, even De'Aaron Fox, like, this is his, first time in a Western Conference Finals. Castle, Harper, everyone. Everyone except for Luke Cornett and Harrison Barnes and Kelly Olynyk.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And like Mitch Johnson as an assistant, actually not even Mitch Johnson as an assistant because he's been here 9 years, and so like it's very interesting to see where we are at right now, and this battle against OKC is going to be our biggest test yet, so I'm excited.
I don't think this is going to happen, but let me ask you, let's say we go to Oklahoma and we lose 2 games, and we come back to San Antonio 0-2. What do you think happened in those 2 games to get us down 0-2, and what do you think we do when we go out for Game 3?
I think the most likely scenario is we try to do too much in terms of creation, and they are forcing turnovers because they were, I believe, first in turnover forcing and then second in fast break points off of turnovers.
Yeah.
So it's like easy math to figure out how they have their offense set up, and so I look at it through that lens, and I'm looking at, hey, okay, if we're down 0-2, it's probably because we coughed the ball up a little bit too much, while simultaneously maybe shooting poorly, on a night where, Wemby is 0-for-8, Fox is 0-for-4, like previously.
Yeah,
it's like that's a recipe for us to just get behind offensively. So I could see, whether it's a bad shooting night, a night where we cough it up a lot and they just capitalize off of transition buckets. It could be, it could be a recipe where we're down 2 games, but then the recipe is clear. It's just smash mouth basketball, get the ball down low, easy inside passes.
Yeah, if we can lead paint points like we have been, then we'll be good to go. And I think also something that Minnesota did in Game 1 was they made us play a lot of ISO ball. They wouldn't let us do a pick and roll, or we weren't running pick and rolls. We weren't running a lot of plays, and if we get into situation where we're trying to play hero ball and there's a lot of one-on-one and just guys settling for jump shots, to your point, not making them, then obviously that's going to be a recipe for disaster, honestly. But also, I do think we have the stronger fan base.
Yeah.
I think if they come to San Antonio, it's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious. Jackals are going to be ready to go. They're going to have another tifo, so it's going to be great to see. And I just, like I said, they went to Phoenix. I don't see Phoenix as a hard place to play. they went to L.A. It's like a Broadway show. It's quieter than the Church Mouse. And then you come to San Antonio where, we have people dancing on cars after wins. And then and then it's going to be wild and crazy. And I don't think they've just been tested this playoffs yet. Last playoffs, I think they got tested. But this playoffs, I don't think they've been tested. And I don't know if the right time to get tested is the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's not the time where you need a punch in the mouth wake up call.
Right.
Yeah, so really the recipe is just doing all the easy stuff. Just make sure we get the ball down low, winning the rebounding battle, just making sure we're not coughing it up, silly turnovers, got to limit those. So yeah,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, yeah. So AJ, when we're looking at the series as a whole, predictions, what are you feeling?
I'm feeling Spurs in 6. I think they'll definitely get a couple games on us just because they're the Thunder, defending champions. They're battle tested. They're gonna have their games where they shoot lights out. They're gonna have great performances. I just think from top to bottom, whenever Wemby's on the floor, we're just a better team. And I don't think Chet is going to be ready. I don't think if Lou Dort plays and he's a nuisance, I think that gets nipped really early by the refs after what we saw with Naz Reid and Victor Wembanyama. So I think it's going to be a 6-game series. We win it at home, and we head to the finals.
I think I'm in full agreement with you. I was leaning at first towards Spurs in 7, but I don't think that we would need to go back to OKC to close that out in Game 7.
I don't think anyone wants to go back to Oklahoma City.
No. I think that we end up closing it out in 6. I think that some of our wins are going to be more decisive than people would like to admit. And I think that we just match up so well against them, and they are a good team, and I think SGA can lead them to around 2 wins.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do think that this series going 7 games is more likely than it going 5 games.
Yeah.
But I think that it's close.
Yeah,
it's close.
Yeah, I think if we end up losing this series, it's because something drastic happened.
Yes.
Like something we weren't expecting, something something that just wasn't necessarily in our deck of cards at the time, like a Wemby getting ejected and getting suspended or something to that effect. But I cannot wait until we can punch him in the mouth, and then those 2 dickweeds, Shea and Chet, are on the podium with their stupid ass sunglasses, going, oh, it's Victor Wembanyama, he's kind of good. And it's like, oh, I hate those sunglasses so much. That's my dunk. Dunk on the sunglasses.
Dude.
I hate them. They're so stupid.
And just dunk on their fashion. Like, it makes me just really... I'm glad that I don't understand fashion when I see those dudes dress.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
I'm super glad our guys have more laid back, sensible style, and we're not dealing with the circus that is the interviews that is Shea and
the fur
Chet.
coats in May.
Oh my gosh, just ridiculous. Ridiculous. That feels like a mini dunk on the way to a larger dunk. But you were talking to me about a dunk you had earlier. What was that dunk?
Yeah, I'm going to dunk on Austin Drivers.
Okay.
I was coming up here from San Antonio just on 35. I was talking with a customer, and I'm like, Mr. Customer, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, like, I go, ah! Because I'm in the left lane driving my normal speed, and then all of a sudden, this car just starts listening lazily to the left, and it's like, oh! And my customer's like, hey, you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Just someone decided to come into my lane for no reason at all on 35, and we're good. And so my customer was like, can you call me back? I'm like, no, we can talk. Just these are Austin Drivers, man. And coming over here has just been a very interesting thing. I think I might buy a dash cam at this point.
Dude, you should. People will risk their life trying to get to Whole Foods around here.
It's insane. Yeah. They're California drivers, clearly.
Well, I mean, whether it's Mopac, whether it's 35, whether it's 83, you are not safe.
Yep.
There's a lot of crazy Austin drivers, so definitely worthy dunk.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to dunk on Drake.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
New Drake album. I'm hearing.
Did you listen to it?
No, I didn't.
That's good.
I'm just hearing people talk about it,
Yeah.
and then I'm hearing him and LeBron having beef because of some lyric. Like let me go ahead and.
Ooh, my favorite Drake lyrics.
Well, I'm just saying I don't want to listen to it, but he said, "Please stop asking about what's going on with 23andMe. I'm not real. You said I'm real and he's not. It's in my DNA." So I have no idea what that means, but it's funny to see two people that are completely kind of douchebags in real life beefing. So Drake, LeBron, y'all continue to beef, and I'm just gonna dunk on y'all.
I heard a snippet and I was like, no, that's trash.
Yeah,
It's no third degree, so I'm not listening to it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
If you're not Big Mo, then go fuck yourself.
Right. Essentially, if you're not Third Coast Rap, I may not want to hear you, and that's a likely situation.
It just sounds whiny.
Yeah.
It just sounds whiny.
Drake has sounded whiny the last 16 years though. I mean,
you know me, dog. I've never been a Drake fan. So.
Yeah, same. I mean, we've been hating on him since college.
Since college, since college.
We've been proud Drake haters.
It would come on the club and be like, change it.
Yeah.
Next song.
So yeah, maybe we just need to dunk on Drake some more. I think this is a reminder of that.
Also, the name Iceman just really, really bothers me.
Right.
It really bothers me.
Yeah.
There's only one Iceman. One. We all know who it is.
Yep.
It's 4-4 and he has a vodka.
George Gervin, little finger roll action.
Did you know that finger roll didn't count? He got fouled on the floor and he just continued, and that iconic finger roll doesn't even count.
That's ridiculous.
I learned that the other day. I think his birthday was up and they showed a clip and they were like, this didn't even count. And you watch the clip and yeah, there's a foul. It's crazy.
Yeah. But still amazing.
Still amazing. Yeah, still amazing.
Still amazing.
Just like with Wemby, anything he does, and even if it doesn't count, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe he did that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We have Wemby, and you don't.
Yep, that's what we're saying to OKC fans right now. But everybody, if you're still watching this, if you're still here with us, we really appreciate you. You are a part of the Baseline Bums community. You guys make this special. Whether we're in here after a Spurs win, whether we're in here after a Spurs loss, you guys make Talking Spurs Hoops special. Whether you're watching lives on YouTube, the clips on Instagram, TikTok, AJ, he's got the Twitter popping off. We got the audio on Apple Podcasts, so we got audio over there. The Discord's popping off. Literally any and everywhere social media is, we are going to be there as well. But we really appreciate you guys for being here. You guys make this community truly what it is. Make sure to join the Baseline Bums community everywhere. We got fire content coming out. We have absolutely incredible guests on the way. And like I said, more post-game episodes as well. So let's get out of here and end this episode the same way we end all episodes.
Yeah!
And that's with a Go Spurs Go!
It's like, let's throw the ball at the camera.
Yeah!